Check 1, 2. Hi, I'm Juki.
Hello, Liberty North. Welcome back once again to your KNET News. I'm Jay Lewis.
And I'm John Harris.
We've got a fun show for you guys today in this freezing cold weather. Your KNET News starts now. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
For those of you who took the exam, PSAT results are available in the office. Please see Mrs. Anderson to pick those up, score reports if you haven't done so already. Now let's head over to Madison and Ian with your North Nation Sports Report.
What's up, North Nation? I'm Ian Grove.
And I'm Madison Gabbert, and welcome to your shortest show of the year.
First up, North basketball plays Liberty tomorrow night at Liberty. The women's team plays at 6:30, and then the men's team plays at 8. Be sure to head on over and show your support.
Next up, tomorrow night, men's wrestling is competing at Jefferson City.
That wraps up your sports show for today. I'm Ian Grove.
And I'm Madison Gabbert.
Be here today and tomorrow for the sophomores who are ordering their class rings. Make sure to bring your $60 deposit. Also, speaking of the sophomore class, next year you guys are going to be able to get into AP Gov. We have Megan over on the couch to give us more information on what that class is like.
Hi, I'm Megan Himmons, and today I'm here with Julie Harris-Lawrence and Mr. Gates. Why don't you both tell us a bit about yourself?
I'm Mr. Gates, and I teach AP Government.
Well, thank you for that incisive. I'm Julie Harris-Lawrence, and I'm the National Director of Teacher Outreach for the College Board. And so I have the best job in the whole world. I get to fly around the country and talk to other AP teachers about policy and legislation in their state and things that are really important to you guys. So what kinds of policy would affect your, would affect your going to school, what colleges you choose, and so I just get to hang out with all the best people.
It definitely seems like something that's a very rewarding job and super amazing to do. Mr. Gates, I know AP classes are doing something a bit different this year. What are AP classes hoping to accomplish?
So my students last year in AP Government, they actually researched and drafted legislation that would guarantee any student who gets a 3 on an AP exam would get college credit. In the state of Missouri, it's right now left up to each individual school to determine whether or not to grant credit, and we want a uniform policy. So if a student earns that credit by getting a 3, they actually get the credit. And so they drafted that legislation last year. This year, our state representative, Mark Ellebrot, introduced that legislation, and so students in AP Government this year will be working to pass it. They'll be doing some grassroots lobbying, some direct lobbying, doing some other things, reaching out, trying to get support, legislative support, to get that come to fruition and get it passed.
As someone who's in AP Gov this year, I'm certainly hoping that this bill gets passed. How will College Board be able to aid us in this process?
Well, thank you, Megan. That's a really great question. There's a couple of things that I want you guys to know. First of all, this is the only student-led legislation in the country. around credit policies. We've never had another group of students do this, and to my knowledge, there isn't anyone else in the country doing this. So we really want to put a lot of emphasis and focus on supporting you guys in a couple of ways. One, providing all the policy data. So how much money can you parents save? What is it that the policy look like in other states? And by the way, 31 other states have AP credit policies. And so we want Missouri in the top. Lots of the states around you have uniform credit policies, and so we think it's really important. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to put a full-time staff member shepherding this bill through the legislature. And so Kevin is here with us today. He's actually upstairs in one of the classes talking right now. And so the College Board is going to assign a full-time person. So you'll have your own lobbyist helping shepherd your bill through. We're going to provide all of the background research data around you being able to talk. And then we also want to be there when you go to tell your story. So we want to help you get in front of the right people and be there to tell your story, because no one else can tell it but you.
That's really amazing. And as a student, I'm certainly gracious for this opportunity, as I think it's going to really take our school even further. And students who aren't in AP Gov, how can they get involved in this process?
Well, I think the biggest thing, kind of like Julie mentioned, is making sure that state legislators know how this is going to impact students and families. So contacting them and the money that they can save on tuition. So just direct contact with the legislators, that's the best way.
Alrighty, thank you guys so much for coming in. And Julie, I know you're from Texas, so unfortunately you may be experiencing a bit more Missouri than you'd like, as we do have ice storms coming in. Let's head over with Jude with some more information on that.
Thank you, Megan. Now, I have a little PSA for the ice fall this Friday. Please be careful while driving. It's supposed to rain, as you can see right here, later on tonight, starting at 6 o'clock. It's supposed to freeze overnight. So we're supposed to get a lot of ice, which is going to make it very terrible driving conditions. So Miss Higgins, my broadcasting teacher, says, leave enough room between you and the car in front of you in case you need to stop for any emergency, roadside assistance, whatever. So now, since a snow day is expected, let's take a look at the process for deciding a snow day in our district.
With winter weather taking over, there's one thing that most Liberty North students are hoping for.
I'm Maddie Burrow, and I want a snow day tomorrow because it'll just give me a day to catch up on my work and be able to sleep in.
Snow days can seem like a very easy decision, but what most people don't know is that there's actually a lot of other stuff that goes into it.
My name is Dallas Ackerman, and I am the Director of Communications for Liberty Public Schools. Oh, a snow day is an interesting process, and really the thing we always say is it's a process that, you know, it's one of those decisions that whenever it's made, we know that not everyone is going to be happy on one side or the other.
Snow days may sound great, but there will be a new process of how we will be making them up.
So this year's calendar does look a little bit different in the fact that we make up the first day in February on that Monday of President's Day weekend, and then we make the second day up on the Friday before Easter in April, and then our third and fourth, if we would have those, would be made up on that Thursday and Friday before Memorial Day. So, and then after that, we're going to look to at least pilot and implement this flexible learning or virtual snow day model that our academic services team has been working on. The bottom line is the latest we would go this year is on that Friday before Memorial Day, which I think everyone should feel good about. I think that's good news, the fact that we don't have to think about going past that into June.
So my name is McKenna Rowe, and I don't want a snow day tomorrow because I have tests tomorrow that I don't want to miss, and I also had so many snow days last year that I'm kind of over them. Even though we don't have to make them up for a while, I also don't want to find out what a virtual snow day is, so I'd like to postpone that as long as possible.
The thing I always tell people, and just because I'm the voice that people hear or they'll see me pushing the message out, I'm just the messenger. Our superintendent is involved in, he's ultimately responsible for making the decision, although he will get a lot of input from both our Chief Operations Officer and our Transportation Director. Another pretty big piece to it all is staying in contact with our neighboring districts. You know, really North Kansas City and Park Hill would probably be the two biggest districts that we keep in contact with, along with Kearney, Platte City, Smithville.
My name's Ella Pritchett, and I want a snow day because I don't want to have to go out on the roads and drive if it's going to be all icy and snowy and gross.
The overall question is, will we have school on Friday, or will we be starting our weekend off early?
Oh my gosh, looking into my crystal ball, if we're gonna have any more snow days. As I told a couple of these guys when I came in here this morning, calling for a little bit of ice on Friday morning, so stay tuned on that.
That snow day tomorrow.
I'm definitely going to sleep in through all of them.
Oh yeah, stay
And on
safe.
that note,
No, hold on, you gotta make sure our kids are safe. Stay safe, drive safe, watch out for the ice.
And on that note,
Whoa,
catch you on the north side.